Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim coming to you from inside my studio, my 21 Toyota 4Runner. I'm down in Boca Raton, Florida this morning. Actually, I'm not sure what side of the line I'm on, Delray Beach or Boca. I just stopped at a Publix for a moment, and now I'm back out on the road. I'm going to investigate and see if this Toyota dealer down the road here it's Sunday, and it's 8:50 a.m. Got to do my timestamp for those out there that like to know. It's Sunday, 8:50 a.m., July 16th, maybe? I think so. So, I'm going to see if this place is open to get an oil change. I doubt that anybody's there at 8:50 a.m. on a Sunday. I know these dealers are running their service departments, 7 days a week now. But anyway, I made a video driving down the ocean. I'll put it up later for you guys' enjoyment. But what I wanted to talk about this morning, I get some questions and people are asking me to make a video about working and drawing Social Security. So let's try to, I've got a few other questions they're asking me too. Let's try to stay on that one right now. If you collect Social Security at whatever age, well, until you get to be full retirement age, and this wouldn't pertain to that. You can make all you want. They limit you to how much money you can make. It doesn't matter if it's 62 or 63 or if you're 64 or 65. It's the same amount of money you can make this year. Every year it goes up. This year it's $21,240. I think a year ago it was only $18,500. So it really went up. I think it went up a lot because they gave us that big bump on our Social Security of 8.7%, which was really nice. Wish they would do that every year. Then we'd be on easy street. But they normally raise Social Security by, $30 a year, and then, they raise your Medicare if you're on Medicare at 65 that much. So it's kind of a wash. But let's talk about how much you can make and what are the penalties and all that. All right, yeah, the service department's closed. Closed up, so let's just keep on driving. Right here's where I sold cars in, what was it? The 90s. Right through here. $21,240 is what you can make. That's what I can make this year. The $21,240 is a adjusted gross income. What does that mean? If you made $31,240 and you had your own business, detailing cars, a YouTuber, you build cabinets, any self-employment, 1099 person that can write off business expenses or things that you had to buy so that you could make your business grow, or you resold them, anything that's a business expense. You can take it off that $31,000, and if you get down to $21,000, you are not going to owe any money back on your Social Security. In other words, at the end of the year, if you made more than $21,240, Social Security says, for every $2 you make, we're going to take $1 back from your Social Security. So don't think, folks, that that's all you can make. You can, if you're self-employed, you can make more as long as your adjusted gross income is down to that number. Now, a lot of people that are self-employed that make more than that, even though they get these deductions, it was money they spent. It was money in their pocket. It's just the advantage of tax write-offs that businesses and self-employment affords people in America. So, but if you worked for McDonald's and you run a W-2, that's the most you're going to be able to make. But every year, next year it'll be even more. It allows you to make that money without any worry about your Social Security being jeopardized. And when you get to be 66 and 8 months like me, but if you're born after 1960, your full retirement age is 67. That means that on that year that you become full retirement age, on that calendar year, that year you can make, this year the number is $56,000. A little more than that, but let's just round it down to 56,000. So if I was turning 66 in 8 months this year, at one point, anytime during 2023, I could make $56,000 and not worry about Social Security taking $1 for every $2 I make. I make over $21,240. So that's great. And then the next year after that, it's no limit. Your full retirement age has been reached, and you can make all the money you want. But you would still owe taxes. Uncle Sam's not going to let you go without paying taxes, so you would have to report whatever income you write it down to, your adjusted gross income, plus your Social Security, and then you would file a tax return, and you would owe federal tax if you owe any. You would owe state tax if you live in a state that owes state tax, and you would still pay into Social Security while you're getting Social Security because you're making money. You're paying into it for other people. Funny how that one works. But nothing stops. Everything goes the same. You work, you make, you owe. That's the way the IRS says. There is no, golden ticket. There is no free pass. No. So that's how that works. I hope it makes it clear that the year you start drawing your Social Security, you just Google it on the Social Security website. You can just Google that. You don't have to go on their website. Google knows the answer. Like this year, it's $21,240. All of 2023, I can make that and still draw my $17,000 that I'm getting. $1,700 a month, which is $20,400. So I can make $41,000 or $42,000, whatever the two add up to there. That's a lot of money, especially when that's only going to be in a 12% tax bracket after the standard deduction. Do you know what the standard deduction is? All right. You work at McDonald's and you make 20 grand. You're also on Social Security and you make 20,000 like I do. And you don't have self-employment way of filing your taxes. You take the standard deduction. The standard deduction went way up about 3 years ago, I think it was, to $12,900 for a single filer. So what that means is whatever money your job said you made, you can take almost $13,000 right off and say, I didn't make that, I made this now. And so that's what you would owe taxes on with your Social Security added to it. Those two numbers together, like I mentioned a moment ago about my $41,000 I can make this year, taking the standard deduction, I'm only in a 12% tax bracket. The people that want to continue to work, that might be making good money and don't want to take their Social Security, say they're making $65,000 plus, they are in a 22% tax bracket if they can't get their income down low enough. So You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. So that's another argument I have about collecting your Social Security as soon as you can. Because why continue to pay taxes? Why continue to pay into it when you're paying these higher taxes if you're making this higher money? And then you're losing $102,000 that I would lose because I make $20,400 a year on Social Security for 5 years by waiting 5 more years to get this extra $700. It doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. It's so negligible. And really, the thing that we never talk about when we get on this topic, it's not the money. It's not that. It's nothing to do, well, it has to do a little bit with it. And money's important. You have to live. Folks, money isn't going to do you any good if you're dead. Okay? If you're going to be leaving this world and going to heaven sooner than later, so many people leave this world in their late 60s, early 70s. A high percentage. Why would you want to just keep on working in a job that you don't like? And this is not to people that are loving their job. This is to people that want to retire and start living life and having time off and freedom and working a little bit. You still have to work. You can't get out of working. You know, I'm not saying that when I have to work. I want to work. It's healthy. I just don't want to work 40 hours a week. I don't want to work for some job that's a grind. I don't want to have to be there at 7 or 8 in the morning and deal with 5 o'clock traffic. I don't want to have to deal with a boss I don't like or with people I don't want to work with that have drama and all the other stuff that goes along with these jobs. I don't want to be locked into a place where I can't go off on the weekends or during the week and see family and relatives or just take a trip across country, take a road trip because I have to be there. I don't want to do that. But I need more money than I'm getting from Social Security. Social Security is not a check that pays, especially in recession days. And it isn't a check at 67 that's going to be any better for you. That's the thing. But what you're doing is you're leaving not only this money on the table, you're leaving 5 years of your precious time and life off the books, out of life. You're still you're like, you could have been paroled at 62, but you chose to stay in prison for 5 more years. Like I say, if you love it, that's one thing. But if you don't, get out. You're paroled. You can get a check now and work that much less equal to what that check is, and then just supplement it. So you're going to cut everything down in half. Everybody that says that you're supposed to retire and never leave the house, never have a job, never work, you're going to leave this world sooner than later if you do that. You've got to keep your mind active. You've got to keep moving. You've got to be around some people. You got to do something that you like. You got to contribute. You've got to sow good seed. You got to get that cool, fun side hustle. You know, maybe you finally want to start your own business and detail cars or pass out samples at Publix, wine tastings, security guard job when you're not doing anything else, and seeing that money come in. It's just like if the Social Security Administration called me and said, we're going to actually bump you another $1,000 a month, which is all I'm trying to make a month more, I'd be like, wow, awesome. You know, that's a game changer. That pays my overhead, my housing cost or whatever. And, you know, and of course the key being retired too is you're not a slave, not just to a job, but you're not a slave to debt, to a credit card company, to a financial institution that you're having to make a car payment to a mortgage on a home if it's still high. You know, I always advocate downsize, sell, get a townhouse. You don't need to be out there in that yard mowing grass and, you know, not being able to go anywhere and pulling weeds and fixing your roof and paying the insurance and HOA cost. And I mean, if your house is paid for and you want to pass it down to your kids and it's an asset for you, and you don't have HOA, and you don't have these things. There's lots of places in Florida, there's no such thing as HOA. You can park your boat out in the yard, your RV in the front yard. You can do what you want. But a lot of these places, they don't let you even paint your mailbox the wrong color. So, you get involved with all these busybodies. I don't want anybody to tell me what to do. I want to quit my job. I don't want to live where they just boss me around and tell me how to park my car and what color house I got to have. I want to be free. If I decide today, like I'm just driving around right now, I want to go to the gym in an hour. I don't have to race to get it in a schedule because I've got some other obligation that some person over me has got control on me. I don't like that. Once you get your freedom, you don't ever want to give it back. And so I've been paroled, I've been freed, and I've got my check coming every month, and I'm figuring out ways, and I'm sharing ways, you're sharing ways on how to supplement that. That's American freedom. That's life. And at 62 years old, that's already late. You don't need, to be continuing to sacrifice 40 years of your time every week, 40 hours of your time every week to four walls. The good weather comes and goes, but you're inside some job. I remember when I had my business, Tammy and I told you I've known Tammy for 40 years. She worked for the school district. Oh gosh, she couldn't wait to get out of there. And she worked not too bad hours. She would tell me, I'd be sitting at the beach, send her a video, and here I am sitting in the beach working on my tan. She'd be kind of jealous. She'd be looking out that window, and she's sitting there, and it's got this cold air. She gets cold everywhere she goes. She had to wear a sweater, and these loud kids were coming in, and these parents that were always angry about something. There's always some kind of drama going on, and she was like, "Let me out of here." She couldn't wait. And she was fortunate. She got the summers off. She wasn't like working year round, so that was the one good part. But man, she used to be, and that's what I'm saying. You get a job and you're looking out the window and life is passing you by, and you could be sitting at the beach and making almost the same amount of money because you're just a worker at some job that may not even be giving you a pension. You just might have been having to work, but get that little side hustle, change that occupation to something that you like, you want, your hours, and you be the boss. And then you can start crushing it.